Welcome back to the Kane and Day Show. I am your host, Kane. You can find me on Twitter at Killing Kane and YouTube at Killing Kane. I'm going to kick it over to Day here. He'll introduce himself, and we'll get into week 3 of the NFL season.
Yes, my name's Day. You can find me on Twitter at Realdaygaming1. And follow the show on Twitter, The Kane and Day Show.
Ooh, do it. Do it. All right. So, starting off with week 3, you had Steelers versus Browns. Browns single-handedly just Nick Chubbed it all the way.
Well, TJ Watt there, it's really difficult.
Well, I don't think the Steelers are going to be good this year, even with TJ Watt. Their defense is amazing with Watt and Minka back there. But other than that, not good at all. But you're looking at a Browns team, Amari Cooper fitting right in, doing well. Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt continue to be dominant. And Jacoby Brissett's not playing bad.
No, he's not.
That is, if you're a Cleveland fan, it holds you over until Deshaun gets back. It's gonna be rough when Watson gets cleared. It's gonna be rough. It's gonna be a big transition because he hasn't played in over 2 years.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be tough.
It's funny that after that game with Jacoby looking the way he has through 3 weeks, Indy was really, down.
Oh, dude, I'm
going
sure.
the Carson Wentz, Matt Ryan route.
I've said it from the start. Jacoby Brissett is not bad. He's been a very average guy who can win you games. He can sling the rock, which is crazy. He's got decent, feet movement in the pocket. He's not bad, especially if you like I always say, if you can keep your quarterback up, you're gonna win games.
Yeah, it's just funny, but obviously, Matt Ryan showed up on Sunday, but
yeah. And then you have, news coming out yesterday that Myles Garrett was in a car crash trying to swerve past the animal in the road.
Yeah, he probably had a Jeep and gets stuck right in that and just flips right over.
Yeah, so, hopefully that he is all right and he can get out there and continue to dominate because, you love to hate the guy. He's dominant. He's got that Aaron Donald physique. And I think he could take the reins from Donald for being the best defensive end in the league.
Yeah. They also didn't say what he hurt.
Yeah.
He did go to the hospital. But they didn't say what he hurt.
They were like, it's non-life threatening. So.
Yeah, he's not going to die from it, but
how long is he going to be out for?
Yeah, is he playing Sunday?
He got released. So
yeah, he got released last night, but it's weird. There was a couple injuries this week that really I found interesting. That was one of them. The way they were.
Are you talking about the injury from last night?
No, Sterling Shepard tore his ACL.
Oh, I'm sure he did. That's specialty.
That's the New York Giants specialty.
Yeah. So our next game here. This was the one that I, head scratcher. The Dolphins did end up coming back and beating the Bills.
Well, I'm glad you went to that because I could just talk about the injury. I don't think Tua
I shouldn't
had a back injury.
He had a full-blown concussion.
Yep.
and well, I was watching a TikTok yesterday, and you know who Emmanuel Ocho is, right? He used to be a linebacker. Well,
sure.
He said that one game he got a concussion, and in concussion protocol, they ask you very, very simple questions.
Yeah.
He said that they asked him, "Do you know what day it is?" "Well, it's Sunday. I'm playing football." "Do you know who the president is?" "Well, he's been the president for the last 3 years whenever he was in the league." So they're like, good to go. And he went back and played. So Tua slammed hard. He got rocked by Milano.
I promise you, when he got up and his spaghetti legged,
And he stumbled twice.
I promise you he didn't know where he was and he didn't
No.
know his name.
No.
And so I was talking to a buddy who studies medicine, body parts and all that.
Right.
He said the only possibility for that not to be a concussion would be nerve damage. And then I asked him, would he come back into the game if he had nerve damage?
No.
He goes, no. He would not get up that quickly.
Yeah.
That man had a concussion, had no fucking clue where he is or was.
And he still came out and won a game.
And then they came out yesterday and said that he didn't even have to go through the protocol.
It's crazy.
That's nuts to me.
I mean, the Bills kind of got shut down all around.
Love that.
Yeah, and yeah, the NFL and the coaches, especially for Miami, had no business letting Tua go back into that game.
No.
I know
no,
it's a division matchup, whatever, fine, take the L. Like,
Yeah, that is not good. It's not a good look. Because, like I said, I know how sometimes they will over or underplay how bad an injury actually is.
all the time.
Like Jameis playing with 4 fractured spine
Mm-hmm.
vertebrae last week, and I guess this week too.
Oh, that's why he played so bad in fantasy.
Yeah, he had his L1 through L4 was fractured.
Oh, sheesh.
But they downplay like that. It's 4 fractured vertebrae.
Yeah, it's not
Or,
very fun to play with.
A concussion. He probably didn't know where he was on yesterday morning.
Right.
It's a bad look, but the game itself was incredible. That was game of the year.
As I go back to it, right, with the injury, Emmanuel Ocho said, like, dude, when I got home, like when we got back, I didn't know where my house was.
Yeah.
It's like this is why CTE is such a huge thing, is because these coaches just like, I get it, you want to win, I get it, but you can't be putting players' health at risk. Because like Tua got hit hard, and his head, his head hit hard on the fucking
he didn't stumble
grass.
for no reason.
Right, like, and not only did he stumble once, he stumbled when his teammates had a hold of him. Like, that's pretty damning to me.
Yeah, like I said.
So
outside of that, it was game of the year. So
right,
it was great.
I mean, hats off to Tua for coming back and winning a game, but damn,
he did still play well. And he also, if he had back problems, he would not have been playing like that.
Can we put the rest, like everything to rest on Tua? I mean, he's 3-0.
Nope.
He's 3-0.
Win a division.
Fair enough. All right, next game. Jets couldn't pull off any magic this week. They dealt with so many injuries in this game.
Garrett Wilson got hurt, twice in that game?
Yeah.
For a shoulder and a rib?
Yeah.
In 2 separate times of the game?
Yeah.
That's
not good. Not
No.
good.
Not when you're getting Zach Wilson back this week.
Oh, yeah. We'll see how that goes.
At least I believe he's supposed to be back. I don't have any faith in Zach Wilson, but he's better than Joe Flacco.
You know, the
at
Jets
this point in time.
had a lot of turmoil on the sideline, too. You saw...
Yeah, their fist fighting, that was great.
Yeah.
Love that.
Coach and Quinnen Williams.
Yeah, it was the D-line coach. It was their
going at it.
7-13. They're fist fighting on the sideline. I love that.
The thing with this Jets team is they're so young all around.
Yeah.
And I think
your quarterback.
Yeah, you're gonna get established at some point.
I think 3 of their receivers are under 3 years in the league.
Yeah, and plus their running backs really young too. And the Bengals came out looking great, and I mean, I still don't change my thought on them now after 3 weeks into the season. I just think that they can't keep Joe Burrow up and ready to go. You can't, like, you need to have a decent O-line to get him and Joe Mixon going, because once Joe Mixon's going, everything else is going to fall into place. Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Tyler Boyd are going to get open, and they're going to win games.
Where last year when they were doing well, they were running the ball.
Yeah.
Once we started running the ball, that's when Joe had all the time in the world to pass.
Exactly, and you need to get back to that. But O-line has to not collapse every fucking play. It just can't happen.
Yeah.
Just can't happen. But we'll see how week 4 goes for him. You know,
Who do I have?
I got it right here. They play the Dolphins on Thursday.
Oh, that's a quick turnaround. That should go really well for them.
Yeah,
Actually.
so you hope
So they're gonna start 1-3.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see how Tua can really come back from, because I mean, you're not really practicing much.
2 days.
And
2 days and a walkthrough and a travel day.
yeah, so it's
or
like
2 days travel day, then a walkthrough.
But then it's like, well, we'll see if Tua can actually get on the field, or if Teddy Bridgewater comes out and is a starter this week. Next game,
he kept him in the game.
Derrick Henry. That's true, but the next game, Derrick Henry ran all over this Raiders defense. It's not a good look for the Raiders.
They are miserable right now.
Nah, and
I don't know what's wrong.
I guess their defense just can't do anything, but I guess their offense is really and that's weird because you're getting a Derek Carr that's put up multiple 4,000-yard seasons before this. Every time he's healthy.
Devontae, I just don't get it. I feel like you double Devontae, Darren should be open. You double Darren, Devontae should be open. If neither of them are open, Hunter Renfrow should be open.
Yeah, but Hunter Renfrow didn't
that
play
one
this
kid
last
had
week.
a great game. He had
Max something. Yeah, he did.
That kid had a great game. It was 120 yards, 130 yards.
I did see he was on the waiver wire, and I was like, maybe, but this could be just a one-game wonder.
I mean, from fantasy perspective, for my team, Derek Carr actually didn't play bad.
Right.
Once they started throwing the ball, but I just don't get it how Devontae's just blanketed in the Darren Waller. This team should be 3-0.
Yeah, they should be, and they're not. But Derrick Henry looked like Derrick Henry again.
What's a funny stat about the Raiders? They're 0-3, right? The 3 teams they've lost to all only have one win, and it's against.
And the crazy thing too is the Raiders have put up 20+ points a game too.
Yeah, they lost to the Chargers.
I mean,
that was
it's not like they're not scoring, but I think it's time you look at your running back room too. If you're Vegas, and Josh Jacobs just isn't it. You drafted him high.
Ohio, so.
You drafted him high.
Ohio State.
They drafted him really, really high. In his rookie year, he was phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
And then he just fell off, and it's not good for him. I mean, if you get it's a given. If you get your running game kind of established, your passing game opens up, and everything else is a possibility.
Yep, it's just like Cincinnati,
right?
Or Tennessee.
You gotta have
Tennessee right now doesn't have any receivers, but
yeah, they have that rookie.
They have
Trey
Robert
Burke.
Woods, and that's it. Oh, Trayton Burke from Arkansas.
Yeah, and they have Corey. No, they don't have Corey Davis. He's on the Jets now. But yeah, it's Derrick Henry. Just looked like Derrick Henry last night. The King took back his crown and said, "I'm back."
Well, that's all fun and games, but when they have to pass the ball, they're in deep danger.
Oh yeah,
because they don't have AJ Brown anymore.
Wait, it's still.
Or even if you want to go a step further, they don't have Julio.
That's
with
true.
AJ Brown.
Dude, how is Julio doing down in Tampa?
He didn't play last week because he was hurt. He had an ankle injury.
But Raiders, this is a must-win week. Must win.
Oh yeah.
Or your season's in the fucking toilet. And I mean, I guess it's not super bad because next year you're getting a high-ish first-round pick if you don't do well, and then you come out, you get another guy in there, maybe an O-lineman to keep Derek Carr in the pocket, and the rest could be history because, I mean, look at Aaron Rodgers when he had Devonta. He had an amazing O-line all the time. Yep. He had centuries in the pocket. Yep. So, we'll see where it goes from here. I think the Titans are going to be a 500-ish team.
I can see that.
I mean, Ryan Tannehill's going to get the job done if he can. That's just about all he can really do.
If Derrick Henry doesn't get 23 fantasy points a week, the Titans lose.
Oh, of course. Of course. And then, we come to our next game. Jameis is even though you said he was hurt, he is just abysmal this year.
Well,
I mean,
that's with Michael Thomas.
you have still top 3 receiver.
Mm-hmm.
Like Michael
Which
Thomas
anything.
hasn't lost a step.
No, he actually hasn't.
And you
Crazy.
have Chris Olave too.
Mm-hmm. I think he might have gotten hurt.
But
I think every Ohio State receiver that was drafted that was like really good got hurt last week.
it's just insane that like they have a good offense and didn't even get his tight end incorporated into the game.
No.
Like, because that's who I had to pick up because Dalton Schultz was out. So, I mean, I was just there. But Jameis can't get it done. Alvin Kamara's looking bad. Like, it's just not a good look for them.
No, it's a really bad look.
What's that?
Jarvis Landry and Michael Thomas are questionable this week.
Well, I hope Michael Thomas isn't. That would hurt me. It's a good thing I have a slew of receivers. We're good.
They believe he avoided a serious injury for his toe.
The Panthers
God,
the Panthers actually pulled out a win. Shocking. The Panthers shouldn't be where they're at. They have a decent team around them. Their offense should be pretty electric with CMC healthy.
Baker still has the lowest QBR in the league.
Yeah.
Like 7. It's bad.
I know it is.
It is bad.
I think they'll they'll turn it around at some point this year. But
I don't.
The Ravens
I've
came
never
out.
had faith in them.
J.K. Dobbins finally made his debut this year.
Lamar still thinks that he deserves the MVP. 5 touchdowns. 4 passing. It's got to be noted. 4 were passing.
I just don't think he'll be in the conversation this year due to the 3 guys who are better right now. Right now in the season, I don't see him throwing for a shit ton of touchdowns. I just don't.
If he can get 5 touchdowns a week,
he's got to beat Josh Allen. Like this is Josh Allen's MVP to lose. But you also have Tua in there. And you can't even count out Jalen Hurts because Jalen Hurts is balling.
Yeah, they play him this week.
Well,
Ravens, Bills.
Josh Allen put a 40 bomb on him. That would be fantastic. Actually, I need Devin Singletary to do stuff.
I need the Baltimore defense to not get crushed. Thank you.
I need them to get crushed because
sure don't.
New Bills fan here.
Oh, sure you don't.
But the Ravens did what the Ravens do. They score a lot, and
they took care of business against the Patriots team that, played decent week 2.
And Mac Jones looked seriously hurt.
Well, that is he has a severe ankle sprain and could miss up to probably a month.
I saw his face when he was getting carried to the locker room, and it was not pretty. He was hurting.
Well, it wasn't. The Patriots are in a rough spot right now.
They are. And I think
they're going to play the Lions coming up.
That's the next team I want to talk about.
Oh, that's good.
Because
if
the Lions
don't win 2 of the next 3, I swear on everything, they won't win another game.
Oh, I don't know, man. Just Jamal Williams had himself a game. Amari St. Brown is so good, or Amon St. Brown. Jared Goff's not terrible. I mean, they're going to come into an easy week against Seattle.
Right, you have Seattle this week. Then they play the Patriots with either I believe it's either a rookie that they just drafted or Brian Hoyer.
Right.
And then they play Cooper Rush, the Dallas Cowboys. If they don't win 2 of those 3,
season's shocked.
It is. If they could beat Carson Wentz at home, I have so much faith that they can take 2 of those.
I mean, the fact is though, they still almost won. They only lost 28-24.
I do want to note, the Lions took Jeff Okudah, I believe, was in the 20 draft, 3rd overall, right?
Mm.
He has finally been healthy. He covered Justin Jefferson 31 snaps on Sunday.
Okay.
He allowed 2 catches. That's it.
That's good.
And he is lined up against Devonta, Scary Terry, Justin Jefferson, and he lined up 5 snaps against A.J. Brown. total combined 6 catches, 36 yards, no touchdowns. He is playing lockdown defense.
That's crazy.
Because they're either getting to the quarterback or they're just not throwing his way.
The scary thing about this
It's good.
Lions team, like, because when you and the scary part is they've got a dominant wide receiver
Mm-hmm.
in Omron, dominant, and if he can keep doing what he's doing, scary, just absolutely terrifying. You have 2 running backs who are studs. Jamal Williams, I just can't believe that he's going off the way he is.
I'm not.
Like, the dude
He
balled
did
out.
well in Green Bay.
He balled out in Green Bay. Came to Detroit and said, "Hey, Rook, here, I'm going to show you the ways." And him and DeAndre Swift are a great tandem. Great.
Yeah, they are.
But then you look at the Vikings, and of course, Dalvin Cook's down again for an extended period of time.
Yep.
And now that's Alexander Madison's to pad his resume again for coming up to free agency, because they're not going to waste a franchise tag on him. That's stupid. You're not going to franchise a running back when your star running back is there.
Yeah.
So
I do think the Lions played well for 57 minutes.
right.
And with 14 seconds left, they completely blew a coverage and let Osborne wide open. That's what cost them the game.
I mean,
That's all
I
it
don't
was.
think we can count out this Detroit team, man. I just really
I
don't.
think they potentially get 7 wins. That's my max for them. 7
Dan
wins.
Campbell is a magician, and he's
Yes, but
really
there's a
getting that
couple.
team. And the Vikings, I mean, they're gonna be frauds until they get a quarterback.
Well,
The
there's
fact that Kirk Cousins has just glided through his career being average.
yeah, ask them about primetime Slay.
Well, yeah.
Or
Yeah.
just, the prime time.
I still think the Lions maybe get a better record than the Vikings do. We'll see. It's
problem is,
early.
I understand, but the problem is, historically, because the same thing happened in Detroit last year, in Minnesota, essentially. Except they went into overtime, but they can never win in Minnesota. They can never win in Chicago. No matter how bad the Bears team is, they can never win in Chicago, and they obviously never win in Green Bay.
The scary part, though,
That's the problem.
the scary part that I'm looking at this Lions team is their scoring.
That's true.
That's
They
the
are
big
scoring.
thing. They're scoring more than they did last year.
They are up 11 points per game.
Exactly.
At this point in the season this year
So-
than they were last year.
I mean, they've just been adding and adding and adding and adding these last 6-7 years, and it's finally starting to pan out.
The
I
crazy
mean,
scenario, they could be 3-0
they could be, and who
with
knows?
the way they've played.
Their next 3 games, they could win them all. That's
could.
the thing.
That's a true statement. They could.
Again, Jared Goff's
I don't
looking
think they'll
good.
beat the Cowboys. I think the
I don't
Cowboys
know.
defense will keep them in it.
I mean,
Cooper will
that's
just somewhat play.
that's usually how it goes.
Is that game in Detroit? I don't think so. If it's in Detroit, Cooper Rush went to Central Michigan, and it might. Nope, it's in Dallas.
Okay. Yeah, we'll
I was
see.
gonna say Cooper Rush might have a chip on his shoulder because he went to Central. And I'm pretty sure he played a bowl game there. Because
Yeah.
that's usually where Central plays.
But we'll see. I mean, it's still early. It's week 3. I mean, we can make some comments on how things are going to shake up through the year. But
I
again, we
lived
just...
in Detroit for way too long. Too.
That's true. But hey, it's still early. Like I said, there's still a lot of football left.
Mhm.
Still a lot
That's
of
true.
football left. So we'll see where it goes throughout the rest of the year. I think they'll be fine. They can get to 500. That's a big improvement from last year.
Yeah,
Huge improvement.
They usually will be a team they shouldn't throughout the season at some point.
I think they should be considered in every game unless they're going up against a just absolutely
Green
stacked
Bay.
team, right? But again, we'll see what happens. I mean, Green Bay's still not looking great.
Well, what sucks is Jacksonville looks like a decent football team now with Doug Peterson at the helm,
That's
and
true.
that's no longer an easy win for them.
No. And then you got, Devonta Smith's team versus the whole Commanders.
I heard this stat last night on Scott Van Pelt's show, right? Jalen Hurts has accumulated so many yards, rushing and passing yards, that if he was his team by himself, he would be ranked 11th in the league. off of his production alone, that doesn't count anybody else.
Right.
Just him alone
Again,
is 11th in the league. That's nuts.
this Eagles team
And
is
he missed
nothing.
4 quarters.
Yeah, it's not this Eagles team is nothing to bat an eye at because they are scary good. Their defense electric. Their offense got so much better. And Jalen Hurts, I want to hear all the Jalen Hurts haters now. Where you at? Where you at? He's putting up numbers.
Yeah.
And that's,
like I said, him alone is 11th in the league.
dude, he's been doubted his entire career. At Bama, doubted. At Oklahoma, doubted. Doubted time and time again. When he got drafted, everyone's like, oh, Jalen Hurts, I don't want that. Oh my gosh. I bet Eagles fans are fucking ecstatic now that he's their quarterback.
I was one of those people.
Y'all thought
I'll admit it.
I thought he was gonna do fine.
No Alabama quarterback ever does well.
Well, we might see next year when Bryce comes out.
No. It'll be Jalen Hurts, and that's it.
But, you know, he has been amazing, and the Commanders look sorry.
They're
Very
bad.
sorry.
Not good. Not
Carson Wentz is not your answer.
No.
Not your answer. Not at all. You're drafting a quarterback next year to throw to Terry. That's about it.
Yeah,
Their
Antonio
defense
Gibson
is
got
bad.
A garbage time touchdown in the fourth quarter. Who really cares?
Right. There's nothing exciting that I look at Washington and be like, you know what, that's a good team now. It's not like when
Philly
they had
is doing what Las Vegas should be doing. They have 2 good receivers, right? With A.J. Brown and Devonta.
Well, technically,
They
the
have a good tight
Raiders
end.
have 3 good receivers, if you're counting a tight end.
Okay, well, I guess you could say that because Goddard is not bad.
No, he's
Plus,
very
they have
average.
2 good running backs.
Right.
Like,
Miles
that's
Sanders.
what the Raiders should be doing.
And you know, I was talking to my brother about this earlier in the week, and sometime last week, and I was like, oh yeah, don't forget Boston Scott. He's like, Boston Scott does nothing but produce.
Exactly.
And it's like, yeah, it's crazy. But
On and off the rocket field if you pitch.
as of now, week 3, Eagles are Super Bowl bound.
Yep, I can get behind them.
I am here for it. Give me Bills. Give me Eagles.
Oh, God. The
Yeah.
2 most toxic fan bases. in all
Oh,
the NFL.
yeah. Let's see Bills fans jumping through tables at the Super Bowl. Let's see it.
Might just Batista slam an Eagle fan through the table. We never know.
Oh, dude, I wouldn't be surprised. But again, it's early. It's just
They look good.
They look phenomenal. Everything is clicking right now. I mean, you're bound to hit a slump at some point in a year.
Slump and the injury bug is going to hit you eventually. That's
Yeah.
football.
I mean, Devonta Smith, phenomenal.
Mhm.
Phenomenal. It doesn't matter if AJ Brown has a down game, Devonta Smith's right there.
Yep.
And he's going to jump over fools and catch the ball. It's just what he does.
Mhm.
So the Chiefs got knocked around, on Sunday.
I mean, it didn't help when the opening kickoff?
I didn't watch
No, that was the
football.
Michigan game. That was the Michigan game. I think they had scored, and then on that next kickoff, the Chiefs muffed it.
Oh,
Like, you needed breaks like that for the Colts to win that game.
right. And, I know that Travis Kelce had himself a good game, but other than that, it wasn't very productive on any end. The Colts just came around and won, and knocked down the
It was
Chiefs a
back and
peg.
forth. It was back and forth the whole game. I mean, if you look at the box score, it was rather close.
Right.
It's not like, they started down 25 or 24 nothing.
Right.
So it was, it was a good game to watch for me as a fan.
Mm.
Not believing that the Colts could actually win that game, other than that they took the lead.
Mm.
It was a good game for the Colts.
Yeah.
Good day.
I'm sure Jonathan Taylor did well. Other than that, I don't really know. 'Cause I didn't really watch football this weekend. I had other things going on. But
Watched from the second half of the 1 o'clock window on.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't even watch the Seahawks game. Usually, I
That was a
always
great
have it
game.
on. Hey, from what I looked at fantasy, I mean,
That was fun to watch.
yeah, I mean, we'll get to it here in a couple games, but to each their own right now. But Texans came out and lost. No surprise there.
It was
Um,
close. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
the Bears won by
Davis
3.
Davis Mills threw a pick with like a minute left
Yeah,
on his own 20 and
ouchie.
set up the game-winning field goal.
Um,
It was a battle of two bad teams. I mean, I don't know.
Justin Fields
They were there.
can't throw a ball
Oh,
at
geez,
all.
like I've said that before.
Yeah, I'm finally on the Justin Fields
Justin Fields
trash.
is a college quarterback.
That's
So is Bryce Young.
that's fair.
Bryce Young is Justin Fields 2.0. I'm just throwing that out there right now. In 2022, at the end of September.
My brother's very high on him, and he doesn't get it wrong very often. So, we'll see. Still got another college football season to go through.
So to Justin Fields.
But there's no really bright spots on the Texans or the Bears. It's not really worth talking about. The Bears are gonna be a top 5 pick team come year end. It's tough. I mean, the Texans are right there with them. So
Yep. Not too far behind. Davis Mills is not that guy.
no, they're taking a quarterback in the first round this year.
Most likely. Will most likely be Bryce Young.
Yeah, I mean, there's gonna be a lot of quarterbacks taken in the first round. I feel like this year. But
Yeah, well, the draft class is a lot better than it was this past year.
it sure was. The Jaguars look like a legitimate team.
Man, did they look good. And man, did that hurt my heart watching the Chargers just get throttled
Oh,
at home.
Justin Herbert shouldn't have played.
No, he shouldn't have. That quarter zone shot ain't going to make a difference, brother.
No, I mean, you
It's
got
not.
shut out by 28 points.
Yeah, it was just bad. Like, nothing went well. Trevor Lawrence looked fantastic.
I mean, and don't get me wrong,
difference
Trevor
to come.
Lawrence. I do think Lawrence is a good quarterback. He's got every attribute you look at. You want
Out of that
in
draft
one.
class, he was the most NFL ready.
Right, and I don't think he's a college quarterback.
No, he wasn't.
Usually when you're tall and can throw the ball, you're not a college quarterback. You're usually a college quarterback if you run around like a toddler.
Like Justin Fields.
And Kyler Murray.
Yeah.
But usually when you're big, kind of got some arm on you and you can throw the ball deep, usually you're a pretty good NFL quarterback. And hey, you're coming off his rookie year, not looking great.
Well,
I mean,
Urban Meyer was
there
there.
was a
There was
a
so much
lot.
wrong.
There
There
was
was
a
so much wrong
lot.
with that season last year. It was
Yeah.
just a wash.
There was a lot going on
Yeah.
in the clubhouse. I mean, it's not something you want to come into because last year was his rookie year, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So coming in, I mean, it didn't help that his running back got hurt. Right before the season started.
Last week of the preseason.
Right. So now you have a fully healthy Travis Etienne. You have James Robinson. Plus, they went out and made moves on their O line. They went out and
Jones.
they got Marvin Jones. They got
Christian
Christian
Kirk.
Kirk. They got Evan Ingram.
Yeah, they look good.
They do, and their defense is just as young as their offense too.
Mhm.
And so,
Led by Josh Allen.
yeah, and so once you get everything clicking, I mean, I could see the Jags going back to the playoffs this year.
I think bringing in Doug Peterson was huge
I mean,
for them
the fact
because he took the Eagles to the Super Bowl.
he did.
And when Carson was playing well, who was his head coach?
Doug Peterson.
There you go.
I mean, he could be the quarterback whisperer, which would
He
be
might.
huge because Trevor Lawrence really needed it.
Needed that.
He needed it. He needed it. I think Trevor Lawrence could be a top 10.
That line.
I knew he threw for a lot.
Well, I could have told you that one, Sinatra. 28 for 39, 262 and 3.
Not bad.
0 interceptions.
Not bad at all. And this is
It
going
helps
off.
when James Robinson had 100 yards and a touchdown, and Etienne had 45 yards.
And this is coming from a dude that, his first experience really with losing was in the
Yeah, it
NFL.
was. Because he was what? Oh God, he had only lost 4 total games
In his whole
between high
career.
school. Yeah, between high school and college, it was 4 total.
Yeah.
He lost national championship against Alabama. He lost, I think, another bowl game, or college football playoff,
Mm-hmm.
and then because I think he lost one game in high school.
Like
It was something stupid.
the dude just doesn't lose. I mean, that goes
Yeah.
to like, and I'm sure he played in a big, division in high school too, because it's like usually
Like,
when you're a
probably the best
huh.
in this, probably the best high school in the state.
Okay, so there you go. You're going up against teams that are kind of just as good as you.
Yeah.
And you're just better. So
Mhm.
I have no doubt that Lawrence finally figured it out because he's looked great all year.
Yeah, he has. He's been throwing accurately. Like that one touchdown pass, it was between probably a window of 3 yards,
Right.
and got it to him.
Yeah. It's
Great throw.
it's crazy. And the Chargers just, I mean, you kind of got to count your
Okay.
losses at some point.
Well, I mean, Joey Bosa goes down.
Right. That doesn't help.
Their rookie guard out for the year with a ruptured bicep.
Ugh. Hate to see it.
What's his name? Rashard? His last name's Slater. I know. That.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
He's out for the year.
That's tough because
And
he
you have
was
Herbert with a fractured rib cartilage. Like I just don't know how you're supposed to do well when your
Austin
defense is out there
Eckler
for
can't
40
do
minutes.
it all. Him
Wait,
and
Keenan Allen's still out.
yeah, that doesn't help.
No,
But
it's like
when your two
just they're in a
running
bad
backs
spot.
are carrying the load, it's not gonna be
Yeah.
good.
And again, they're not targeting Mike Williams at all.
They did
Joshua
one week.
Palmer. Joshua Palmer is not number one.
No,
Is not. Mike Williams right now is, and they're not throwing it to him, like at all.
it's tough. I mean, but it's also probably tough for Herbert to throw the ball too right now.
I mean, when he got hit, you could see him wince, but when he was throwing, it seemed fine. He had the
Right.
same zip on the ball, pretty much the same accuracy.
But still, something's off. Something is off.
But yeah,
And
Keenan's not there.
yeah, that's good old reliable. Because I mean,
Yeah.
he's been great his whole
He
career.
is good old reliable, quite
He
literally.
is. He's like a Larry Fitzgerald type guy. So
Just bigger.
and then we're gonna go to
Not a lot.
our next team. The Rams beat the Cardinals. I mean, I don't.
Well, as a betting man, which I am,
Yes,
the
you
Call
are.
of Duty beta was out this weekend.
Oh yeah, you are right. So Kyler's been for the last
Bad.
week because he got it the weekend before too,
Mhm.
and then
Probably.
Thursday, Friday, Saturday he was probably playing COD all day.
And they were
So
at home,
it's true.
so he didn't have to travel to LA to
That's
play
true.
that game. He woke up in his own bed on Sunday. That means he played all night Saturday.
Most likely, the Rams are doing the Rams things. Cooper Kupp doing Cooper Kupp things. The running backs, Darrell Henderson, I think should be the leading back because Cam Akers just ain't it.
Yeah, that fumble was bad. That fumble was inside the 10.
Like I've got Cam Akers on fantasy. My dad was super high on him going into the season, kept him as his
Everybody
keeper.
was.
And just Cam Akers looks like Rashad Penny in year 2. Lost, doesn't know where he
Yeah,
is.
I don't know what happened to him.
Yeah,
I really don't.
I don't know, man. It's just not looking good. He's sitting on my bench, and I don't have the faith to start him. So
I wouldn't.
he just doesn't look good until he gives me 2 or 3 consistent games of getting like 15-ish points. I would not touch him with a 10-foot pole, honestly.
No.
So
And even if one game he does, you have to look at the stats. 1 catch for 10 yards and a touchdown.
right,
15 right there.
it's. I mean, shit.
but
I'll take that
you know
all
what I
day. I will take that all day if he's gonna get
Yeah.
a catch and a touchdown. Like,
That's what Devontae got me week 1. That was
yeah.
cool.
But the Cardinals, I just don't think the Cardinals are good. They're not going to be good till D-Hop gets back. I mean, I know we talk about how COD's going to be in full swing when D-Hop comes back. I don't think
That
it
was a
matters.
joke, but
But, I think once Hopkins comes back, they'll be better.
yeah.
But you also need a number 2, which they don't really have right now. Well, they do.
AJ
Actually,
Green got hurt.
Hollywood Brown. He is a guy to
Kyler
look
missed
at.
him a couple times.
And that's probably on Kyler. But
It was. He overthrew him by about 5.
he's still, like, now you're finally seeing Hollywood Brown. Like, you didn't really, like, I do think the Ravens fucked up by trading him away, because that's just another target for Lamar, and Hollywood's showing that he can be an NFL wide receiver. And you know what? I'm happy he's on my fantasy team because he's starting this week.
That decision was made 2 minutes before the recording of this podcast.
Sure was. I did set up my lineup for the week. The Rams are going to do what the Rams do. I mean, Jalen Ramsey needs to figure it out because he's getting burned.
He played better.
Yeah, I mean, he can play better, but he's still got to pull his head out.
Wow.
But being the number one corner for, 5 years straight? I mean, that takes its toll.
Yeah.
Really takes its toll. He's older. I mean, you gotta...
Also, there's another guy that does this too, which will be the last game we talk about, but he's going for a lot of picks. He's getting burned. And
just play defense.
He's trying to jump the route. Or he's just simply not paying attention. There's a couple of those that were thrown in there too. Don't get it twisted. But he's been trying to jump routes, and it's just he's getting burned.
Yeah, I mean, you can't really, like, just play lockdown, because that's what you are. Like, yeah, interceptions will come your way. They always do.
They need to play him as the nickel, though. He has been playing a lot better as the nickel instead of just the outside guy.
Because when he was the outside guy, though, for Jacksonville, he was dominant.
Yeah.
But, that was, 5-6 years ago?
Yeah, it was a while ago. They were still playing at the Coliseum.
Yeah, exactly. So
SoFi wasn't even open yet.
I mean, the Rams kind of, the NFC West is such a weird division this year. Such a weird division. I thought this was the best division in football. Like, besides the Seahawks, of course.
Well, I thought the AFC West was, but that's, it's the AFC East right now.
Yeah. And then you have the AFC South.
Bad.
Look, Jacksonville's looking great.
That's it.
And usually the AFC South is where teams go to die.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. This football's gonna be crazy this year. There's gonna be a lot of different.
Had 18 games within 3 points or fewer this year. Most through 3 weeks.
Defenses are balling this year. It's crazy.
It's really pissing me off, actually.
Same. Somebody's gotta, like, this next game, Green Bay versus Tampa Bay. Like,
it was a slugfest.
It sure was, but
kinda.
Aaron Rodgers does not look good.
Well, he's got nobody. Well, Sammy didn't play.
Well, right, but Tom Brady also does not look good.
That offense in general doesn't look good. Like, they don't.
I mean, this Tampa Bay offense, I mean, they're missing out on their key piece right now.
Godwin's out.
And once Godwin comes back, oh, Lord. Watch out.
They need the Gronk daddy back.
And Gronk's not coming out of retirement.
No,
I hate to say it.
But I'm saying
he's ready.
That's what they're missing.
He's ready to kick up his feet. Here's the thing.
Do commercials for Subway. But
here's the thing with Tampa that you really need to see. You need to see Chris Godwin come back.
Mm-hmm.
And you need to run a 3-receiver set with Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, and
also didn't
Julio.
help. He was suspended Sunday, so he didn't play either.
Yeah, that was a big. I mean, trust me, it hurt me a lot. But
I really think the Bucs aren't in a bad spot.
No,
their defense played great.
Leonard,
outside of the first 2 drives,
Leonard looks like a legit running back again.
Yeah.
So here's the thing, right? Like I said, you need Godwin, probably on your outside. You throw Mike Evans on the other side. And then you have Julio, plus your tight end, playing the slots.
Yeah, they just need Mike Evans back. They need Chris Godwin back.
Yeah, Chris Godwin, I think, is their big factor.
I think Fournette, the holes open up even more for Fournette.
Oh,
and like I said, their defense played great. Outside the first 2 series where Green Bay marched down the field quite easily.
I mean, they held them to 14, and that's Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers, one of the better quarterbacks in the league.
Yeah, it was
I mean,
14 on
back-to-back
the first two.
MVP.
Yeah,
And he
they
does,
played well.
yeah. I mean,
Over
again,
the course of the game. The first half was obviously abysmal because they gave up two quite easy
Aaron
touchdowns.
Jones didn't do a damn thing.
He didn't have anywhere to go.
I mean,
Neither
then
did
you
it.
have AJ Dillon back there
Didn't have
too.
anywhere to go.
Yeah, so it's not like, this is why I say, like, Green Bay's in trouble.
They are.
Like, you play any team that has a competent defense, they're gonna struggle, and they're
The
gonna
only
struggle
reason they won
hard.
that game is because Tampa didn't have the 2-point play called
Yeah,
before they scored, and they got to delay a game, which is just so unbelievably unacceptable to have a delay a game on a 2-point conversion to tie the game.
I agree.
It just can't happen. It just simply can't happen.
I'm 100% agreeable with you. Like, this just, it's not looking good for the old guys. This is basically what I'm coming down to right now. Like,
Yeah.
Tom Brady he looks sick. He looks really sick right now. Like,
He's not doing well.
there's a lot of shit going on in his personal that's probably affecting him too. Not to mention they're in Miami right now because the hurricane.
Yeah.
I just really think Tom Brady, like, should not have come back this year due to the fact, like, his marriage could be on the line at the end of it, at, like, when it's all said and done. But he compared to last year, dude has lost a lot of weight. A lot of weight. Like, you could actually, like, his face right here in the cheeks is sunk in. Like,
Chiseled.
I don't even think it's chiseled, man. It's just, like, my brother looked like that when he lost a lot of weight. And I think it was because he wasn't really eating.
Yeah, I don't know what his diet looks like.
And Tom Brady just looks scrawny for the first time in his life.
Yeah.
And that's not good for him either. He's getting hit. Like,
He's getting rocked.
yeah, and Tom Brady's one of those quarterbacks that just doesn't get hit, even at 44 years old. Wasn't getting hit, but now 45, magic number, I guess. He's just lost a step.
Well, he's just not had the opportunity to get the ball out in 2 seconds.
Right. Right.
So that was a specialty. Him and Rodgers are both really good.
Now you got Cole Beasley in there, baby.
You know what? He didn't play bad.
Well, that's good.
It was tough for, it's a tough scene coming in. Julio's out, Godwin's out,
Yeah.
Mike Evans out. You're starting, I think, 3 rookies,
Yeah.
or just 3 guys with extreme inexperience.
I agree. It's
I don't know what
just
else
not
you're
looking
supposed
good.
to do. The fact they actually had a chance to win that game was incredible
Right.
with the offense that they threw out there.
I agree. And now you're going to come to one of the probably better games of the weekend with the Falcons and Seahawks.
That game was great.
By the way, Drake London is here.
Fantastic.
He is here.
Fantastic.
He is ready. He is ready to put all the haters to bed. Drake London is here. Might have been the best pick of my fucking draft.
That's probably true.
Well,
I'm just
actually, the
happy
best pick of my
Mariota
draft is Alexander Madison because Dalvin Cook is out again. Big brain, baby. But
Mariota looked good.
he did look good. From what I saw, Drake London out there snatching souls.
And that's helping Kyle Pitts get open.
Sure is.
And
This
that's
defense
helping them
looks
run the
good.
ball.
I mean, don't get me wrong. The Seahawks didn't look bad. I mean, Rashad Penny had about 60-ish yards. Hopefully he could pick it up against Detroit. I hope he can run the ball because I need it. Really do. I didn't see how Kenneth Walker did this week.
Probably not well.
I'm here. Let me
That's
pull up.
just me not wanting to do well.
Let me pull up the stats. Marcus Mariota was 13 for 20, 229, a TD, and an interception. Not bad. Cordell Patterson, though. Oh, if you're a running team, this is why I'm starting Jamal Adams, guys. If you have Jamal Williams, if you have him, start him. Cordell Patterson had 17 carries for 141 yards. You're going to run all over this. Like, he had 12.
I think it's many.
He had 12.
Yeah, I didn't think it was many.
But 141 yards on the ground against a Seahawks defense that's somewhat decent. I mean,
Yeah,
that's the one thing.
good.
Is like this Seattle defense is just not great. I mean, they are like Tariq Woolen is probably our best corner, and I mean he's been pretty locked down. Not gonna lie. So it's tough to see because Seahawks fan all my life. It just sucks to see him this bad. But this
should live in Detroit.
This Falcons team, though, I mean, you look at the receiving on this end. Kyle Pitts, 5 reception, 87 yards. Drake London, 3 for 54 and a touchdown. Not even gonna pronounce this name.
Oh, that tight end.
Yeah, 2 for 49. Yeah. Not bad if you can get 50 yards out of a tight end who really nobody knows anything about. I don't know. He's
a receiver.
I don't even think Kyle Pitts is a tight end, to be honest. He's just a...
The double C's throwing me.
He just looks like a freaking wide receiver. But...
Zacchaeus? That's how I'd say it. Zacchaeus.
But yeah, they looked good, and then let's go to the Seahawks side. Geno Smith actually threw the ball. 32 for 44, 325 yards, 2 touchdowns. Yeah, Rashad Penny, 14 carries for 66, didn't get in the end zone, hurt me a lot. Kenneth Walker, 3 for 19, not liking that. Tyler Lockett, though, 9 for 76. DK.
I know Walker had a nice reception.
Yeah. He had 3 for 14. But Tyler Lockett, 9 for 76. DK, 5 for 64. Colby Parkinson. I do love seeing Geno get his tight ends involved. I do love to see that. Have to. Colby Parkinson and Will Dissly, both good. Marquise Goodwin had himself a nice snag. Noah Fant, 4 for 27. Not terrible, but again... It's tough because
he worth Russell Wilson?
Huh?
Was he worth giving away Russell Wilson? Not yet.
I mean, from draft order alone, it was worth it because the Seahawks are actually going to have a first round pick in the draft this year. Plus, they're probably going to get another top 10 pick because Denver's so bad.
Oh, we'll get into that one.
I can't wait. I cannot wait. But again, this Seahawks team does not look terrible. They're a quarterback away, and I don't think it's Geno Smith or Drew Lock. No, I think at some point Drew is going to take over because they have to, right? They traded for him. He's got to get in the game.
Not necessarily.
I mean, I think he will, and I think he'll do decent.
Not if he doesn't give him a chance to win the game.
But I mean, going off Geno's stats, 325 for 2 tuggies. And 1 interception, it's not bad.
Actually, if I remember correctly, that interception was actually not his fault.
Well, there
you go.
It was
a tip pass. I think. Don't quote me on that, but I think it was a tip pass.
But again, the Seahawks team doesn't look terrible. You just need Kenneth Walker and Rashad Penny to kind of carry the front load for you to open up DK and Tyler Lockett and those tight ends. It's just, you got to do it. You got to do it. But, on top of that, it wasn't a bad game. It was competitive the whole time.
From a fan that didn't really care about the outcome, since I had no money or fantasy team, players on it, it was a great game to watch.
Great game.
Especially after that Bills game at 1 o'clock. That game at 4 o'clock, it was just like, it was just a continuation of it.
Right.
Fantastic. Nothing but scoring.
And then we come to Sunday night. Both teams.
Was one of the most boring. It was 7-5 halfway through the 4th quarter.
I'm gonna pull up the box score here.
It was 7-5. Jimmy G had walked out of the end zone. There was 17 punts for 896 total yards.
I did see something. Eli Manning said should have paid the punter.
Yeah, he did say that.
Said should have paid the punter because Russell Wilson, you're going to just as good of a situation, if not better, honestly. You have Jerry Jeudy, Courtland Sutton, both younger than Tyler Lockett and DK Metcalf. You have 2 guys who are younger. And Courtland Sutton can catch the ball. Jerry Jeudy's probably the best route runner in the league.
He's up there.
And you have, not to mention, Javonte Williams and Melvin Gordon in that backfield.
Mm-hmm.
This team should be great. But their O-line is so trash, it's worse than the Seahawks was last year. Russ is getting chased around. And now that Russ isn't good in another uniform, let's be honest. He has not been anything that anybody wanted. 20 for 30 for 184. What?
This just shows that you could take a good quarterback, put him on a different team, and they might not still win games.
Right.
That's all it says.
Under 200 yards receiving.
Mm-hmm.
Or under 200 yards throwing. That's so
couldn't-
fucking crazy.
They couldn't do anything.
And fuck, 97 of that was Cortland Sutton.
Yeah. That game, like I said, it was 7-5. It was a baseball score halfway through the fourth quarter.
Yeah, it's like, and then you go to the 49ers side. I mean,
Jimmy G steps out of the back of the end zone.
Debo.
I mean, how do you do that?
Right, Debo had 5 carries for 6 yards. And Jeff Wilson went 12 for 75. Like, what? Debo had 73 yards receiving this time, but and thank God Brandon Ayuk scored a touchdown. Was super stoked about that. But George Kittle, 4 for 28.
And there was so much hype about him coming back. Man, did they do nothing about that?
Oh,
it was bad. That game was bad.
Terrible, terrible, terrible game. And then we go to last night, Monday night's game.
It started rough.
Cooper Rush is 2-0, baby. 3-0, my bad. Cooper Rush, 21 for 31, 215 and a touchdown. No interceptions. I mean, hey, he's doing the job till Dak gets back.
Dude, that game, I was very scared when it was at halftime. It was 6-6, and I'm like, God, it's just like last night's game with the Niners.
Tony Pollard, though. Ooh. Fantasy owners, lock him up. Lock him up.
I knew if they utilized him correctly, obviously they needed some good calls against him. That OPI was bad on Sterling Shepard, and there was another one that was bad. But Tony Pollard is good.
Yeah.
And Zeke actually had some running room last night.
73 yards and a touchdown. Love to see it.
The problem with both of those stats, they're so inflated. Tony Pollard had a 45-yard rush on 1 carry, and Zeke had 30.
Right.
Those were 2 plays that netted 75 yards.
This is the crazy thing about Dallas, right? All in all, like, I hate Dallas. Hate them. America's team, don't give a shit. I do not like Dallas. Their fan base is trash. Like, the players are trash. If you're on Dallas, they all think they're high and fucking mighty and untouchable. It's not that way. You're a human being like the rest of us. I don't know. Dallas is just trash. But here's the thing. They've got such a fucking good team.
Yeah,
to not be...
I can't believe he dropped that ball.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
Well,
he made up for it, though.
Going off, like, ridiculous catches and stuff, right? George Pickens actually had a phenomenal catch. Did you see that?
2 phenomenal catches this week. George Pickens had one on Thursday night.
George Pickens made a catch that, like, Pat McAfee is saying, this should be the greatest catch of all time because of the way.
It was very close to the Odell one without the PI.
Yeah, but here's the thing, like, Odell kind of, he got PI'd, reached back, whatever. I saw a little shove from George Pickens, and this motherfucker turned into, like, what's the word?
He was horizontal.
Yeah, he was
horizontal.
He was turned, like, his body was contorted. He was turned. He went back and just bang.
Yeah. That was really good. The CeeDee Lamb one last night was really well.
Yeah, the one where Cooper just kind of dropped it right into his arm, kind of, and just went.
Yeah, he made up for that drop with that touchdown catch when he hit the photographer. But then there was another one. I think it was Devonta, if I'm being honest.
Mm-hmm.
But we had some really good catches this week.
Oh yeah, but then
George Pickens one was really good.
Looking at the stats here for the Cowboys, CeeDee Lamb, 8 for 87, huge game, and CeeDee Lamb I think now is very good. I really do think he's very good now.
Well, I thought he's. I've had that thought that he's, been good. It's just, when Dak's throwing you the ball, I have no faith in him.
They're also missing another wide receiver, though. They're missing Michael Gallup again.
And Amari Cooper's in Cleveland.
Yeah, which Amari being away, fine. He's doing what he does down there. Amari Cooper's been good. But here's the thing. Michael Gallup and CeeDee Lamb together are fantastic, and they still can't win games. Your defense can't carry you all the way. That's the big thing that I'm like...
Micah Parsons is an animal.
Right. And so, let's look at the Giants here. I mean, Danny Dimes not looking great.
I mean...
20 for 37, 196 and an interception. The only bright spot on your team right now is Saquon going 14 carries for 81 yards and a touchdown. Sterling Shepard looked like he just was jogging, and all of a sudden, boom, ACL, gone.
Well, see, what really sucked on that play in particular is not only did Sterling Shepard tear his ACL, right? Sills slipped on a timing throw, and Quandre actually made an incredible catch by keeping his hand under the ball and not letting it hit the ground, and got the game-winning interception. That was it. That was Daniel Jones' only interception. Was on a timing throw where Sills fell down and slipped on his own.
So, my big question for this New York Giants team is
they're not good. They beat Carolina.
Well, no,
they beat Tennessee.
Here's where I'm going. It's like, why aren't you getting Galladay in? Like, anything?
Well, that's what even Joe Buck and Troy had brought that up. Like, why you went out and spent all that money on bringing him into New York, and you're not
using him at all?
I feel like he's not even getting targets.
And the other guy, Kayvon Tooney, isn't even playing.
That was a high draft pick. I think
not even. Let's fucking look it up right now, huh?
But with Galladay, he's healthy. They're just not putting him on the field. That, I don't get.
What's his name?
Yeah, he's
Kayvon?
Questionable. Kadarius. He's questionable.
But the whole fact is, it's like
Hamstring. Got a hamstring problem.
Like, he wants out, and
but
he's
like,
what? This is his second year in the league. He wants out after 1 year. You brought in Kenny Galladay, who, mind you, has been pretty average. He's been pretty average his entire career.
He had one good year with Stafford. One good year with Stafford. Left. Went to New York. But they're not even playing him. That's what's questionable. Like, at least if he's on the field getting doubled every game, fine. Whatever. It is what it is.
They also let Evan Ingram walk.
But he's not on the field.
Right.
That's what I don't get.
It's crazy. It is absolutely insane. It's like...
it was to the point where Joe Buck made a comment about it last night.
And the fact that they've interviewed him and he's just like, I don't know what's going on. I just want to win. They're just not throwing me the ball. Like...
Wow. I mean, when you're getting, what's that, $19 million a year? I just have to stand on the sidelines and look pretty. My God, I would do it.
Oh, free
it's
paycheck, but still.
Like being a backup quarterback. That's why Jimmy G didn't give a shit about losing that game. He still got $250,000 extra dollars.
It just doesn't matter, though. It's like, you guys, like, these owners and GMs are spending money on dudes that just...
For the coaching staff not to use them.
Right.
Crazy.
It's crazy. Like, I just look at all the coaching decisions this year, and it's not good.
Well, the Broncos, Nathan Hackett is way too early.
He is a fraud.
He's not good.
Fraud.
Now,
like
the guy down in Miami is fantastic.
Bro,
Mike
here's the thing. Like, we'll talk about that in a second, right? Here's the thing about, like, Seattle compared to Denver right now, right? They're letting Geno go for it on fourth.
Yeah.
They are letting Geno Smith go for it on fourth down when Russell would just go out there and try to get an offsides. They're letting a backup quarterback come out here and run fourth down plays and getting first downs. And then week one, when all of your running backs and targets that you threw to all averaged more than 5 yards of reception or carry. And now, you're not trusting Russell Wilson to get you out of that? The guy who has probably, if he stayed in Seattle, would have the most fourth quarter comebacks of all time. And it's just not working. I don't care that, like...
He's just not ready. That's all it is.
Like, one of my big things, too, it's like, yes, you're not playing your starters in the offseason or in the preseason. That's fine. It's whatever. You know, practice only gets you, like, I was talking to my dad because he's like, it's time for me to find another quarterback because Russell Wilson ain't doing shit. And the big thing is, like, I don't care that, like, you didn't play together. Russell Wilson literally has all of his wide receivers come to his house because he's got that football field on his property, and he works with them nonstop. That's what he did with DK. That's what he did with Tyler. That's what he does with Will Disley. I don't think he's doing that in Denver. I don't. And the thing is, it's like...
the play calling is really bad, too.
Oh, I mean, shit, man. You're one of the better quarterbacks in the league, and you're winning 11-10. Like, what the fuck are we doing here?
That, like I said, that was... I was sad I watched that game.
Like, it's so terrible that how bad Russell Wilson is this year. It's not good. Throw the ball up. Somebody's gonna fucking jump and get it. Like, shit.
Well, I think they also had 6 drops.
But I don't know, man. It's just not looking good. Drops. And then, you know, like... I feel bad for Sterling Shepard because...
Yeah, he just can't stay healthy.
No, he's been injured every single year of his career.
Yeah.
And, like, I saw a tweet from Odell, and he was like, y'all need to take this turf shit off the field. Just let this shit be grass again.
Well, tell that to Washington.
Right.
Or Chase Young, or Alex Smith, or, you know, that's a grass field.
But the thing is
yeah,
like,
it's bad.
You turf is hurting people more than it's helping people.
Well, I mean, even to switch sports and go to baseball, I mean, they don't want to play on turf either.
Right.
Everyone's saying take the turf away.
Yeah.
It's not just football.
Nobody wants to play on it. It's a literal cause for injury.
Yeah, the problem with, like, some of these established stadiums, they just can't do that. Where you look at, like, Ford Field or US Bank Stadium out in Minnesota.
Mm-hmm.
Those are both turf. It's not like Allegiant Stadium or State Farm Stadium where they had that, you know, they grow the grass outside and then the day of the game they move it inside.
Right.
So you can still have other events. If you were to move a grass field into Ford Field, it would never survive.
Right. Which, I mean, I get.
Which is a problem. Now, a stadium like MetLife, when you give it a grass field, again, it actually works for any field, really. When there's not football there, they do other things.
Mm-hmm.
Like at AT&T Stadium when I took a tour there was motocross coming in.
Right.
They just rolled the turf up, put it in where it was supposed to go, and they threw dirt on the ground.
Right.
You can't just take the turf away because there would be no way for the grass to grow.
Right. And
then it looks bad.
One of the big things though, it's just like, man, like the video I saw of Shepard going, he was jogging. Yeah. He wasn't even sprinting. He was just pogo.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was a non-contact.
And then he's on the ground, and that's a shame because Sterling Shepard is not bad by any stretch of the imagination. Every time he's superly healthy, he's produced, and now you lose him again for another year, and it always happens beginning of the year. He always gets hurt. Right. It's just a tough scene, and you know. Like you said earlier, the injury bug is bound to hit, and when it hits in waves.
I might have to do some research on that during the week. How much turf actually hurts the body compared to grass?
I mean, you see people go down left and right from turf almost every single year.
You remember the World Series, Cody Bellinger,
Yeah.
that World Series run, because he played what 3 straight weeks in Texas on the turf.
Mm-hmm.
Kevin Kiermaier this year got hurt.
Right. It's not a
Yeah.
good scene, man. Not a good scene. At least like when you look at like the baseball stadiums in general, it's like when you have a grass field. I don't know. It just looks natural. It looks great,
Wow.
especially when
I
they
say with a
mow it
football field
first.
too, but
First, you know, when they mow it day of the game, and it just looks all nice and cut and just beautiful.
actually, you know what the other logistical problem would be
Hmm.
with changing the NFL stadiums all to grass?
Hmm.
The wear and tear a player's body goes through their 3 years of college,
Right.
because most of those fields are turf.
Right.
I know
Right.
Michigan's is. I know Michigan State's is grass, but I mean, most college football stadiums are turf.
Right. Because it costs less too.
Like I think Washington's is. I think Washington State's is. Oregon State, all those West Coast teams.
Mm-hmm.
You'd have to get those guys to all switch to grass too.
Right. But like the thing is it's more affordable to have turf because
Well,
grass
it's
you got to go
easier
buy.
host other events there. That's what
Right,
it
and then
is.
you can also like when you have to buy grass seed all the time to make it all look pretty and da 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 da, you know. But
Yeah, it's just
it just
you're right. It is a cost problem.
it is tough to just see these guys go down to non-contact injuries. Like I said, I just saw Sterling Shepard just jogging along and then boom,
Yeah.
went
If you-
straight up, grabbed the knee instantly, and I was like, that's such a shame,
yeah,
such a
it's like
shame.
if I'm gonna watch a guy tear his ACL, I want his leg go backwards. Like I do at least feel it. You know,
Right,
I don't want to see him jog you just pop it.
right. But you know, we'll get this week started off with Bengals and Dolphins.
Dolphins.
Should be a good
Oh,
game.
hammer the Bengals. They're wearing an all white with a white helmet. It looks fantastic. Hammer the Bengals.
Yeah, so it's gonna
Did
be
that for Ohio State with all blackout, and I won. So
it's gonna be a good game to start off the week with. But anyway, guys, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. If you're watching on YouTube, go ahead and leave a like on the video. Comment question of the day: do you think fields should be turf or grass? Go ahead and let us know in the comments. Let us know on Twitter. You know, if you're listening on Spotify, go ahead and leave us a review. Let us know how we're doing. You know, we want to get some feedback, see what you guys think. You know, so we can improve the pod, better quality, all that stuff. Shoot us up on Twitter though. Hit up the show, and we'll start some conversations. But anyway, guys, till next week. Next podcast most likely will be a baseball podcast. We have a lot to talk about in that. We just got to find the time to do it. But anyway, guys, till next time. I'm Kane, and this is Day, and we'll talk to you later.